Hey everyone, in this example demo, we'll be going through how to do a single lot subdivision design within Neara Designer. We're going to be working off a model of the existing network that we've extracted from AutoMod and fixed up. Alternatively, you could model your existing network manually from DXF. Again, this design will be available from our Fresh Test website if you want to download and follow along. We've tidied up the AutoMod extract to only show the LV network for the single substation and added in the required service points. We can pan around our design to get an idea of our network. We might also be interested in a schematic view underneath the plan tab, which only shows the cables and nodes, such as pillars and substations. We can click on any objects, such as the pillars, cables, or substations to view the properties in the right-hand tab. We can also open up the voltage drop report, like so, turn on the visualization to view the existing voltage drop parameters, noting that at this specific extremity, the voltage drop is 8.57. Going back to the perspective view, we can take a look at our projects. So in this case, our client Neara at 24 Yarra Lumla Parade is planning to subdivide their lot into 24A and 24B and build a duplex requiring 2 service connections. Clicking on the nearby pillar, we can see that the houses 18 to 24 are supplied by the pillar MP338849. There are currently 4 service connections on our pillar, which is the maximum allowed within our network, meaning we don't have any room to connect a new service connection for our subdivision. All other pillars are more than 50 meters away and cannot be used. Therefore, for this subdivision, we'll have to install a new pillar at the property boundary of 20 and 24. We'll be going through 2 methods of how to install a new pillar. The first will be more practical, while the second method will be quicker but less intuitive. To start off the first method, we use the pillar tool and click on the boundary where we should be placing our pillar. Using the cable tool, we can click on the existing cable to edit its properties near the pillar. A few options pop up. In this case, we want to cut the cable and leave the ends dangling away from the new pillar. Once we have the cable split, we should click on the cable that's running underneath our new pillar and see its properties. We can see that one of its endpoint nodes is connected to a pillar while the other is dangling. We can change this dangling type to a pillar and then select our new pillar from the drop-down menu. This effectively allows us to bend our existing cable into the new pillar. Next, we want to lay a new piece of cable between the pillar and the existing cable. Using the cable tool, we can click on the pillar and hover across the trench and click again near our dangling section to place a new cable. In this case, we want to select a joint termination so we can connect the existing cable to it. Looking at our cursor, we can see that we're still extending a new cable from the joint. So we can right-click to stop extending our current cable. We can then right-click again to get off the cable tool. Clicking on our cable with the dangling section, we can once again change the dangling endpoint type to a joint and change it to joint number 1, which we just created. This is the first method of installing a new pillar. An alternative way we could add a pillar is to use the cable tool and click on our cable along the boundary and select Insert Pillar. We can then click on the cable a few meters away from our pillar and select Insert Cable Joint. While this method is obviously quicker, it gives a less intuitive understanding of the construction process and the tools available within Neara Designer. The last thing to do for our design is to add the new service point using the service point tool. Here, we can edit the load type and phases in the properties panel. For our specific property, we should be using the prestige units on all phases. We click on the new pillar to attach the load and click again on the house for the proposed point of connection. We can then open up the voltage drop reports and check the voltage drops are within the 10-volt requirement. Notice how at this specific extremity that we previously checked, the voltage drop increased from 8.57 to 8.79, which is compliant. In this case, the cable pool calculations are irrelevant as our cable is only a few meters long and will be manually laid. This concludes our second tutorial. Thanks for following along with this design and hope you enjoy using Neara Designer.